Where you from?
California.
California. Okay,
hmm
California. So California. If I move to California, where should I live? Because I
Probably not
know,
LA.
yeah, I know Skid Row is trash, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Not
hmm
LA. So where?
I don't know, maybe like San Diego. San Diego's pretty chill. Um, Expensive though.
Expensive? Yeah, money is not a
hmm
problem. We African. Money is not a problem. We got it like
Then
that.
San Diego.
San Diego.
hmm
Okay. I know a YouTuber. They used to live there. Is Wes
hmm
Watson,
hmm
buff dude, tattooed and stuff. Okay, San Diego. Do you live in San Diego? Or
No,
you don't have the money? I'm
no,
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
no, you're
where
fine.
Where do you live?
I live in Northern California.
Northern California. Okay, that's cool. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
17.
17.
hmm
Okay, how's life at 17 in Northern California?
It's all right.
It's all right.
hmm
Okay. What do you think of the state of modern culture in the US?
I think it's kind of bad a little bit.
Kind of bad? Care
hmm
to elaborate?
I don't know, like what do you mean by modern culture?
Yeah, man, like just the state of things, like the you have all these movements, like I've seen a lot of podcasts and red pills and just people getting shot because of their opinions and just the craziness, man, the crazy politics, tariffs, and just the madness in the culture.
Um, I think that there's a huge divide in this country
I agree.
between the people that live in it. And I think that people overreact about a lot of things that aren't actually of substance. Um, and there's a lot of fake media out there, and people don't know how to decipher whether or not things are true or false.
Agree. What would be your antidote to solve these issues, to tackle them?
I think it starts in the school system. I think our school systems are really, really, really bad, really poor, and I think that a lot of people are able to slide by without even getting any sort of proper education. I think that one of the biggest issues we have in this country is that a lot of people's um, intelligence levels are just way too low, and their comprehension levels and literacy levels are far too low. And so we get a lot of people that don't know how to decipher what's in the media. They don't know how to control their emotions regarding, is this logical? And they don't know how to, find actual credible sources. When they hear about an issue, they just listen to whatever someone on social media says rather than going and researching about that issue and finding out whether or not it's actually true or what actually happened. Rather, like, they just listen to what the media tells them instead of looking up what actually has occurred.
And do you think that is that on purpose? Like, do you think that the system is set up like that on purpose?
Yes, I do. I think that I think that there's a lot of, I think it benefits the media and the media's expansion, and for shock value it's beneficial for the government and for, people who are in charge of the media, for our people to be less intelligent because they don't know how, or and for our people to have lower literacy levels because they don't know how to comprehend or to decipher or to even spot when the government or when, media sources are lying to them. They don't know how to spot it, and I think that's a, good thing for the government because it's easy to control, and people are easy to fool and deceive and easy to, control, like I said. So yeah, I think it's on purpose to an extent.
Interesting. And
hmm
what do you think about the rights that are getting taken from people, like from women and stuff? I don't know much. I'm not an American, but I've seen the rallies and people with banners and rallies and stuff. So what's going on?
Here's the
What's up with that?
I think it's over dramatized. I think that people dramatize the amount of rights that we're losing and that certain groups are losing because the media tells them to over dramatize it.
Hmm?
I do think that there are some things that are being lost and that there are some extremist laws that shouldn't be put into place. Like, for example, the abortion thing. I don't think that they should have ever taken away Roe versus Wade. I don't think that the Supreme Court should have ever lifted that ruling, right? But at the same time, I think a lot of people don't realize what that actually entails because it's not as extreme as they think it is. But it's also it shouldn't have been a thing. They should have kept it, it was already in place. That law was already in place over our federally protecting abortion rights around our country. And then what they did is they took it away, leaving abortion rights up to the states. And I don't personally think that that should have happened. I don't think that they should have allowed for that. But at the same time, I think a lot of people overstretch what actually happened there, and they hype up and I guess falsely portray the extent and dramatize the extent of what that's actually done. But like at the end of the day, I think that in this country, a lot of the problems that we have with abortion rights in this country
Hmm.
stem from the rights, conservative leaning
Hmm.
Christian values. And I don't think that those values should have any place in our state because there's a clear separation between church and state in this country, and they should have a clear separation. So the fact that religious values are encroaching on our abortion rights in this country, I don't agree with at all. And I think that that's also an issue in this country is that a lot of the times when the right side is fighting for, the laws that they want in place or to take laws away, they're fighting for them through a religious lens. And that just should absolutely not be the case.
Okay, but if we remove, for instance, the religious lens per se, and we focus on the fact that the birth rate is declining and that some women are using uh, abortion, right, as a contraceptive method, would
Hmm.
wouldn't that wouldn't make sense that they would enforce a law like that to prevent those actors to act in that way and abuse the law?
I see the logic behind that. I really do. And I do think that there are sometimes issues where women will overuse abortions and they will use them as contraceptives. I don't think it's as common as we are told it is because abortions, we know that abortions are a very painful process, a very excruciating process to go through. So I think the amount of people that are actually using them as common contraceptions is a lot lower than we think or a lot lower than we're being told. However, I do think that for the people that are using it in that scenario, like they should be obviously using actual contraception because like having abortion after abortion is not the solution to um your problems. If you're getting pregnant that often that when you don't want to be, then you're obviously doing something wrong and that needs to be stopped because we can't just have abortion after abortion just because you're being careless, right? But at the same time, I don't think that the birth rates in this country should be up to the government to control, right?
I
I
agree.
think one of the root problems is that it's too expensive to have kids, and that's what's causing a lot of people to not want to have kids because it's so expensive in this country. So I think to solve the birth rates instead of forcing people to have kids in economies where that they cannot afford to have kids and those kids are going to grow up poorly, I think that what they should do is instead be focusing on the economy and in the first place and fixing that to make it more accessible for people to raise kids without being dirt poor. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. But on the other
Hmm.
hand, we have the increasing divorce rates. So you have
Hmm.
the other side of the coin where if people like if they stuck together, that it would be less difficult, not easier, but less difficult to raise a family, right? Instead of
Hmm.
mother and kids and dad paying child support or whatever, it would be. I'm not saying that the economy is busted, man. Like, but everywhere. I live in Europe and it's busted. It's crazy.
Hmm.
Here in Portugal, people complain about the same thing,
Hmm.
that the economy is crazy and how can we have kids and da da da, and we have the same issues, that birth rate declining. But here, for instance, we don't have the abortion law. So I know personally women that just they do it like it's like a Wednesday, right?
Hmm.
They out here, they living, and they just, yeah, I'm gonna do it because you can do it because the state pays for it.
Right.
So it is crazy. So we pay, the economy is busted. We are out here just scraping by. And then you
Hmm.
have these people that are abusing the system, and we, all of us, are paying for that.
Right. Hmm.
So it's insane.
I definitely understand that side of it, and I don't. It's hard to say, and I don't really know too much about the whole process of the systems. But I don't one of the things that I don't agree with is the government always paying for all these abortions, like paying for abortion after abortion. I don't agree with the government paying for that because at some point, like it's your own responsibility to make sure that you're not getting pregnant. So if you do end up getting pregnant, like if you really can't afford it, I get that. Like there's situations like that. But at the end of the day, I think for the most part, most people, if they're getting pregnant and they want to have an abortion, they should be paying for it for themselves, like instead of the government paying for it, because like yeah, you should be able to get an abortion, but you should be paying for it on your own dime. Like
Choices and consequences, right?
mhm. I yes, I agree.
You have condoms, you have contraceptives left and right. So
Mhm.
that is not an excuse. Actually, I don't know how it is in the States, but in Portugal, they even give it away for free. They give it away.
Yeah.
In
I don't really agree with that because I don't think that we as taxpayers should be having to pay for everyone else's mistakes, right? It's like you have the accessibility to birth control, you have condoms, like it's really not that hard to not get pregnant. Like from my like it's not that hard to not get pregnant. So it's like I
Yeah,
don't
I agree
yeah.
with you. I agree with you. I'm laughing because I agree with you. It's not that
Yeah.
hard, right? Just use the rubber,
I
right?
definitely agree with that. I understand that there's mistakes sometimes, and it's like, yes, when those mistakes happen, I do agree you should be able to get an abortion, but you know, nine out of 10 times you should be paying for it yourself, unless you're really like in a situation where you absolutely cannot. But on the average, for the average person, no, the government should not be paying for it. Like,
Let me ask you something. What do you think about the state of relationships and the dating market in the Western world, in the US, for starters, right now?
mhm. Like, what do you mean? Like, what aspect of it?
Like dating market, like how do men, in your case, like teenage boys, how do they
Hmm.
react? Like I imagine you have an Instagram and people be DMing you
Hmm.
and hearts and fires and whatever. I don't know which emojis they use nowadays. But how do you see
I
it? Like for you, the state of it. How do you see it?
I think that social media has caused a lot of issues with like relationships and how people perceive what relationships should be like, how people, you know, how many people. I think one of the biggest issues is how many people we're seeing, like how many faces we are seeing on the internet is causing one people's perceptions of what others should look like is like that's very very skewed because of social media, right? And so there's a huge like factor that social media plays in relationships nowadays, especially in the younger generations, because I think one people's standards for what people should look like is a lot higher than it actually is. Like, and then what's actually, you know, normal. And I think too, the media has caused a huge uprise in hookup culture. Like, you know, just you know having sex with whoever and disregarding them, and that's all. It's kind of pushed the narrative that that's all that matters and that's all we should be doing, and that you know love doesn't actually exist and that we shouldn't. It's guided us in a way that's away from actual traditional relationships, and that's away from actually having, you know, you're with this person, you stay with them, blah blah blah, right? We have a lot of hookup culture, a lot of a huge increase because of the media. So I think that that's a huge issue, and not to say that I am against hookups because I think like, you know, we have freedom with, you know, who we want to sleep with and with our bodies, but I do think that people should be holding themselves to a little bit higher of a self-respect extent, and to a little bit higher of a regard, um, and like respecting themselves a little bit more because like just sleeping with whoever is not the answer to your problems. And I also think that like in order to have strong relationships, like we should in reality be like finding someone to stay with, not just and you know, getting to know them, getting to know who they are, like learning what their values are, learning how their mind works, how they think, everything about them before we're sleeping with them. Like,
But
and
isn't that
actually committing to someone.
isn't that an evolution like the current the hookup, all this craziness that is going on? Isn't that an evolution of the sexual liberation that women
Yes.
fought for?
Hmm. Yes.
So how can
Yeah.
women help to fix it? Because women fought for this.
Right. I definitely agree to an aspect. I think it's a byproduct of that. I don't think that like I don't think obviously like in no way do I think that, feminism was the wrong move, but I do think that like when it comes to the sexual liberation, I think what happened is that not that it happened, but that it went too far. And that like we've gotten so far to the point where people just don't see the value in even having a relationship or getting to know someone before sleeping with them. Like, and I think that that's a really important aspect, like, getting to know someone and having standards and values for yourself before sleeping with them, I think is a very important aspect of building relationships, because if you're just sleeping with someone automatically, it kind of already devalues that relationship in some ways, because you don't actually like you don't you're not chasing for them. You're not fighting to be in a relationship with this person. You just automatically slept with them. So it's like you're not even like working towards anything, because what is there to work towards? Like,
Yeah, but now the world is so warped and twisted that in Sweden, somewhere in Scandinavia, I'm pretty sure that in Sweden they first hook up, and then after the hookup they can start dating because now they've seen each other naked, and it's just so ridiculous and so far-fetched that I was like, man, this is crazy. We are so far gone. This is insane,
mhm.
right? Do you think that bringing like men to vet the men in your family, to vet the man that you are dating, would be a good thing? Like, not I already know that arranged marriage, I think from the past, right?
Mhm.
But maybe the man in your family vet the man that you are dating, because apparently when women left to their own devices, they choose the bad boys, the ones that are fun, and then these
Mhm.
bad choices happen.
Yeah. So like what are you asking exactly?
If maybe we should start letting the men in our families vet the men that women are trying to date.
What do you mean vet? Like choose or like
Just
or like approve of them?
approve, yes, because
Okay.
men know men.
I think I definitely think that as women we should value what our families are saying about who we're with,
Mhm.
because like, if they're seeing something that we're blind to, like we definitely should value what they're saying and listen to them. Do I think that we need to listen to our fathers and what they think, whoever they think we should date, that we should? Like, no, obviously, because they're not in the relationship and they're not you, so they don't have that choice and final. But I do think it's valuable to listen to their opinion and be like, take into consideration if they have any major red flags that they're seeing, like consider, if what they're saying has any continuity, like if there's anything significance to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you
Like,
mean.
mhm.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And
Like I don't think our fathers and the men in our family should be in control of who we're dating in any way. But I do think it's important to value like their opinion to some extent.
but since we have such an increasing large number of single moms and divorces and stuff like that, wouldn't you agree that apparently women are pretty bad at choosing men?
I think sometimes they can be. I think that men can also be bad at choosing women though. I think that the problem isn't only in women, it's definitely in both genders. Like men are men oftentimes I think have a hard time valuing women, and I think that to some extent they still don't see women fully as people and rather see them as objects to cheat on and sleep around with. But
Ooh.
I think that in some cases women don't help themselves with that because we over sexualize ourselves and allow men to see us like that. So I think that it goes both ways for sure. Um, but overall, I think both genders need to be valuing who the person is more before valuing their body or how they look. Like we really need to be considering who they are and what where they're going in life. What's their like aspirations? What's their, how do they think? Like, what are they doing with their life? Like that's an important factor in who you're getting with, not just how they look. Like,
But there's validity in what you say. But since most divorces are started by women, I would say that women are the ones that are most dissatisfied.
probably, yeah. Since most, yeah. But I do wonder, like, why is that? Why are they dissatisfied? Because obviously, like, I've never been married. I don't have personal experience with this, but like I do wonder why it is mostly women that start divorces.
I think that it,
Um,
it goes back to the social media thing
mhm,
because you have the illusion of so many choices and so many people
mhm,
chasing you that you think that the grass is greener on the other side.
mhm. Yeah,
And
I definitely can see that aspect.
it's just not, right? Because
Mhm,
attention and retention are different things. And there was a comedian, I think it was Chris Rock. He said, ladies, men, they want to sleep with you, but they don't want to stay with you, right? Like you leave
mhm,
your husband and you cheat, right? But he's gonna return you. But the thing is, this is the math, right? There is fewer men than women, so
mhm,
men are more scarce than women because there's
mhm,
less of us.
mhm.
So by the math, some people will die alone.
Right.
Some females will die alone.
Mhm,
So there are some females that they got the numbers, they got the math, and they were like, I'm willing to steal a man from another woman. They're willing to
mhm,
go there. But there's no man willing to go there, right? You may be
mhm,
a good looking woman and nice body, and you are married, and he's sending all these DMs and trying to fly you left and right, but he's trying to hit, not trying to keep.
right. I think that women are oftentimes a lot more about the emotional aspect and men are more about the physical aspect. Obviously, that's typically a biological function, but on average, right? So a lot of times like men are going to be more driven by the physical aspects and men are going to sleep around more typically because they're more driven by the physical aspects and then women are more driven by wanting to keep who they're yeah with like normally when women cheat it's because of an emotional aspect. They're cheating emotionally and they want an actual other partner. When men cheat it's normally them physically sleeping with that other partner. Obviously both are harmful to relationships and both are, you know, not helpful in any sort of way, but they're definitely different motives and different like, ways of going. So, I don't know.
When women cheat, it's personal, man.
Yes.
They do it to hurt you. It's personal. For men, it's just cardio.
I could say I agree with that, but I don't think it changes the extent of how it hurts the other person.
I agree. I agree.
Because like they're both very harmful to relationships and neither one should be occurring when you're committing to someone. Like,
I agree. But why do you think that most influential and rich men they are allowed to cheat?
because I mean, status allows people to do a lot of things. Like
So money,
when you
right?
have status, when you have money, you can kind of do whatever you want. Like unfortunately, that's how the world works.
Gentlemen, take notes. Take notes.
Yeah.
You gotta, if you wanna cheat, just become rich.
Yeah, I mean, people don't care when you have money. And unfortunately, like as sad as that is, like that's the truth. Like it's not nobody cares if you're rich. Like you can do whatever you want.
Right? It is crazy. It is crazy, man.
Hmm.
Like Dwayne Wade did it, Kobe Bryant did it. I thought it was only athletes, but Bill Gates had a side piece for decades.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Melinda knew, and I was like, that's insane. So apparently, it's money. If you have money, you have
Hmm.
status, you can cheat. So is it so when you have money, it's not cheating anymore? What is it then?
It's still, I mean, it's definitely still cheating.
But the emotional effect is out the window, right?
I don't know if it's out the window, but I think that people are less prone to do anything about it because they don't want to lose that money. Like,
Ooh. But you see, this is an interesting take. But men, men, I don't want to say all men, but this is in our nature, right? To
hmm,
spread the seed. This is
hmm,
biology, right? So
right.
men that don't cheat, that have the option to do it, are highly disciplined men. Highly
I would say,
disciplined.
yeah.
So highly disciplined. So why wouldn't women stay with the man that they love and you'll be like, hey, I'm highly disciplined, but I may sleep once or twice. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna use
Mm,
the rubber and you're never gonna find out, but hey, it's just it is what it is.
mm-hmm,
Even if
hmm.
like he's not a rich guy or famous status or whatever, why don't women just make peace with that? Because this is what's gonna happen most of the time, right? He's broke,
Because
he's rich,
I
he's
think
gonna do it.
one, I think one for us, we see it from our perspective. Like we see it from the perspective of how it would be if we were the ones cheating,
Mhm.
right? And for us, it's typically more emotional. So one, we're thinking that it's emotional for them. But number two, I don't like, I really do think that if a man truly loves a woman and if he really wants to commit to her and stay with her, then he shouldn't be cheating on her and he wouldn't if he really loves her. Like, and like that's the only reason you should be married or, committed to someone is if you really actually love them, right? Like,
True.
but I think if they actually do really love that woman, then they should have the willpower to not do anything.
But okay, this takes us to another question. What is love? Because we are different. Men and women, we're different.
This is true.
So we see love in different ways.
Hmm.
So what is
That's true.
love? What is love to you?
I don't know. I haven't had it, so I couldn't put a definite stance on what it is because I haven't experienced it myself. And obviously, yes, every person perceives love differently. So like what I consider love is completely different to what everyone else on this planet considers love because it's only through the perception that we see the world. So it's definitely different for everyone. But I think that there's certain characteristics that might be like betraying of love.
Men are more pragmatic, right? For me, love is like, do you believe that your parents love you?
Yeah.
Why? What makes you
Um,
believe that?
they take care of like, I think that's the one thing they take care of me. Like they spend time with me. They spend lots of money on me, they do things for me. They make sure I'm okay. They make sure I'm alive.
That's it. Love is responsibility,
Hmm.
service, right?
I would say to an extent, yeah.
That's love. Like we in the
Hmm.
West believe in the fairy tale Disney version, right?
Hmm.
Like the prince and the princess.
Hmm.
In the rom coms, the movie ends when he gets the girl and they ride into the sunset. In real
Hmm.
life, that's when the actual movie starts, right? When they
Right,
get
yeah.
that's when the movie starts. Because
Hmm.
now you gotta be a good man, you gotta provide, you gotta do this, you gotta protect, you gotta do all these things, and she gotta care for you and do all the
Hmm.
things that she has to do. So love is responsibility.
Hmm.
It is not just a feeling.
Yes, I would agree with you. I mean, it stems from a feeling within a person, but like actually outwardly projecting it, yes, I would say it's a sort of responsibility.
Yeah, it's super cold here in Portugal, but yeah,
Really?
super cold. My
I
gloves.
didn't know it got that cold there.
Oh yeah, but the thing I'm gonna tell you something. It is not the weather itself is more the bad insulation in the homes,
Mm,
because it's super cold inside. It's colder inside than outside. I
really?
saw a video, yeah, of a Russian girl, and she had Uggs, like the boots,
Mm.
inside, and she was like, I'm Russian, and in Portugal is insane. I've never felt this cold like inside ever in my life.
What's the temperature?
I think it's 9 or 7 degrees Celsius. We think in
I
Celsius. So
don't know what that is in in Fahrenheit.
let me see. Yeah, why do you guys have to make everything so difficult? You think in
I
inches,
really don't. I've
in
definitely wondered that
gallons?
myself. I've always wondered that myself because I have no clue why we decided to have a different system than the rest of the world. It's actually a great question. If it would make the most sense to be the same as everyone else, but
It's just, it's just
it is
go 44.
44 degrees. That's
Yeah.
not that bad. Is that really cold for you guys?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Are you from Minnesota?
No.
Oh, because I know that the cold there is here is real.
It gets to be about where I live. I think like the coldest, like when it's like prime winter, it gets in the negatives of Fahrenheit, which is like really low in Celsius, I think. Like it gets to be
That's
like I don't know, at least like -5 degrees like
negative
in
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. So I think that's really low in Celsius.
Man, in your state.
Hmm. It
Wow.
gets colder in other places too.
But like, if you live in Miami, it's basically summer year round, right?
Yeah, Miami's pretty warm, I think, all around.
It's
But
crazy.
do you like Portugal? Is it nice there?
It's great. It's great.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The food is good, and okay, here it is. I don't like socialist mentality.
Mm,
The socialist mentality, because I love money and I'm extremely competitive. I want to win.
mhm,
I want to create my own shit, right? I want to build shit. And I don't like the government being on my business, like
mhm.
taxing me left and right and making all these weird laws.
I agree with
And
you.
just, I don't like that. I don't like
Mhm,
that at all. I don't like the amount of taxes we pay. Yeah, that I don't like. But the weather is
mhm.
good. The outside, the weather is fine. It's sunny, like 300 days of the year. Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
not.
great, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's actually, if you have money, amazing.
Mm, I bet. Yeah.
But
Would
yeah,
you ever consider moving to the US?
a friend of mine is obsessed with the US. He's
Really?
obsessed. He's obsessed. I love the guns.
Yeah,
Uh,
we do have that.
I love the guns. I
Have
love
you
it.
ever have you ever used one?
Yeah, back in Africa.
Mm.
Yeah, use it.
It's not allowed in Europe, is it? Like anywhere?
No, not anywhere. You have like countries like Czech Republic that you can conceal carry. Yeah.
Mm, mhm.
But most of it, nah. Europe is this. I think I believe that this is why the Brits just went to America and just said, "Yeah, screw these
Mhm.
guys. We're gonna start our own thing and just own a
Yeah.
bunch of guns and just be cowboys and be cool, yeah, and do
Mhm.
cool shit."
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
bro, things here are
Yeah,
just very
we got lots
vanilla,
of guns here.
very vanilla here. Have you ever fired a gun?
Mhm.
Damn. Okay.
Yes. Many times.
Many times, but you
Mhm.
you are like, you gotta be an adult legally to own one.
To own one, yeah. So, like, where I live, like, I'm almost 18, so, like, when I turn 18, then like, you have to be 18 to conceal and carry, and so,
Hmm.
like, once you're 18, you can just buy a gun, and whatever guns you want and conceal and carry, but
What do you think about the laws they are trying to pass to ban the rifles or wars of guns of war or whatever they call it? What do you think about that?
Um, I don't think that that's necessarily going to be beneficial to the school shootings because America is a very specific country and America is very different than a lot of other countries. So when I hear people using other countries that have strict gun laws as a reference point for like what America could be, I'm like that's not accurate because Americans act a lot differently than other countries do. So it's like if we were to put in those strict gun laws, like the people here aren't going to follow them. And that's like we know that. We know that's the truth. Like Americans aren't just gonna listen to whatever gun laws they want, right? And even when they do, like, even if all the law abiding citizens listen and, give up their guns to the government, all the criminals that we have are not gonna give them up, right? Like, just how they don't give up their drugs, they don't give up, their violence, the other acts of like, that's how Americans are. They're not just gonna give up their guns. Like, I'm sorry to say, like as nice of a solution as that would be, like that's not accurate to how Americans act, and especially not the criminal Americans. Like they're hardcore. Like I feel like a lot of criminal Americans are quite hardcore with it, and a lot of them are not willing to give up their guns, especially like because it's like if it's illegal, like when people go and kill people with their guns, it's illegal to kill people, right? And so like it's not going to change anything if it's illegal to have the gun. Like they don't care about the law. So like
Exactly. This is my problem with the European mindset, with the Portuguese mindset per se, is that like okay, the government wants to have the monopoly on violence. They want to
mhm.
own all the guns. Okay, cool. But
Right.
what about the bad guys?
Mhm.
I'm big and strong. I know how to fight. I can throw these babies
Mhm.
around like yeah, combos and shit.
Mhm.
But I don't want to fight a dude with a 9 millimeter pointing at me.
See, and exactly that's the issue too, is like in America, there's more guns than there are people in America. I'm pretty
Damn.
sure. So when it comes down to that, like taking away all the guns in the first place is like near impossible. Like that's not a possible like thing to happen because we have so many guns like in this country. Like almost everyone has a gun. Like I literally like I don't know
Sheesh.
many American citizens that don't have a gun. So like in the first just in the first place at that, like trying to have gun control all of a sudden, not gonna work because we have way too many of them. And on top of that, like even the law abiding citizens, I can't see half of them giving up their guns because it's so ingrained into our society to have them. So it's like I don't see the point in even trying to take away our guns because it's not going to happen. Like Americans are very adamant on having their guns. Like they love them. They're a lot of, Americans prized possessions. So like there's no like actual continuity to like even trying to get them.
Yeah, why would you try to take people's rights?
Yeah, I mean exactly. I mean it's in our constitution and I understand that that was written forever ago, right? But at the end of the
But the
day,
thing
it's
is,
an
why?
amendment that we have.
Yeah, but why did they wrote that?
So that we could take over the government, right? And I also see that as an important aspect because if our government becomes tyrannical,
Corrupt.
if our
Damn.
government becomes, controlling, we have to be able to stop them in some sort of way, right? Like
Yep.
and also in addition, when everyone has guns, if the good citizens don't have guns and only the criminals had guns, that would create a huge issue. We then can't defend ourselves. If someone tries to break into our house, if someone tries to kill us, how are we going to defend ourselves? We can't. Like
With sticks and stones, perhaps.
yeah, exactly. Like
Crazy, crazy. Because I
like
often make this example. I tell this story. Right. I grew up in
mhm,
Africa, in Angola, and
mhm,
I've seen war, like true war. I'm not talking
mhm,
about gangs and this kind of. I've seen tanks like on the
mhm.
street, like bodies mangled. Like I've seen what a AK-47 does to a human body. I've seen it as a
Right.
kid. So, but once the war was over, everyone had guns, and that kept the level of violence in check. Because if you have a gun and I have a gun, I know that you have a gun. I will be more aware of the line is that I shouldn't cross,
Right.
right? Instead of being
Mhm.
just a bully and try to bully people because yeah, he has one too.
Mhm.
So is that the kind of thing that bullies don't want to mess with people that can fight back, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
So that keeps the balance of violence in check. But when you
Mhm.
remove the gun from law abiding citizen, now we have this freak show,
Mhm.
this clowns
Yeah,
show. This is crazy.
exactly.
This is crazy because, for instance, in the UK, what do they have? Oh, no guns. Da, 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 da. They be stabbing like crazy.
Yeah, this
I've
is
been
true.
stabbed. It is not fun.
Really?
Yeah, I've been around the block. It is not fun. I would prefer to be shot.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
it's an instant, bah, done.
Yeah, that's true.
Stabbing is personal.
Mhm.
It's close to you, like, ugh.
Yeah.
It is not fun,
Yeah, I can't imagine, like
right? So, yeah, I like guns, man, and I would love to be able to own a couple, but it's just
mhm.
it's just near impossible.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like, I definitely like, especially like as a young woman, I feel like I like I want to have a gun because like I think like especially like when I plan to live on my own and when I plan to, be out on my own, like I feel like that's the safest option for me because
Yes,
like even if I had a knife, for example, I can't exactly defend myself like against a grown man. Like the only thing that I have to defend, like that could defend me against a grown man is a gun, right? And so like when people are like, "Oh, like we don't like," when they try to take away guns, I'm like, "What about that aspect too?" Like they are like it's literally going to if I were to be, approached or someone tried to hurt me, like that would literally be the only thing that could save my life, right? Like and so like and there's also like so many instances I've heard of like, when criminals go to places and they start shooting people, how who stops them? People with guns stop them, right? Like the other people there with guns are the ones that shoot the person killing people. And so it's like we have to have them, like, because if we take them away from the law abiding citizens and there's no one to stop the people who are not going to give their guns up. Like,
yeah, we're creating an imbalance in power, right?
mm-hmm.
We are removing the claws from the lions and
Mm-hmm.
just leave them unprotected, and it is not a good thing. It is not a good thing, and I've seen it firsthand here. I've seen actually a video of a young lady. She was walking down the street and a car pulls up, like driving real slow nearby her. She changes to the other sidewalk, and then the dude just brakes, get out of the car, and she had a backpack. Just I don't know if she was getting off work or something, and she took out that thing, and that thing talked to the dude, and he was on the ground after like three pow pow pow, done
Yeah, exactly.
done.
Like,
Yeah, not the threat was neutralized,
mhm.
right? And even if you have a knife, you have to have a lot of training, right? And as I
Exactly.
said, stabbing is a very personal thing,
It definitely is.
right? You have
Mhm.
to have training with your gun, obviously, but with a
Mhm.
knife, it's just a different thing. Because if he takes control of that, you gotta be up and close, and if you,
Mhm.
it is a mess. And
It's much harder to defend yourself with a knife, yes.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, guns. I love guns. I love them.
Mhm.
I wish I
Me
could have
too.
them. I wish I could have them,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I appreciate that I can because I definitely
even
I see.
there's a UFC legend, Don Fry, the guy with the mustache. He used to fight in Japan, and he was like, "I
Mhm.
love Japan, but I will never move to Japan because I can take my guns with me."
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because the culture is more soft, and maybe he enjoys the I don't know food or whatever. He fought there for a
Right.
long time. I think he has kids there. But the fact that he can't take his guns with him, we're like, nah.
That's valid because like I mean don't know. It definitely shocks me that like we're basically the only country, like one of the only countries that like has guns so prevalently because like I just it's baffling because like I don't know. I'm like, how do you guys defend yourselves? Like in
You
other
have
countries.
Switzerland, that they the the military service is mandatory, and the men, they have their guns at home, like they don't leave it
Mm,
in the spot that they stay or whatever. They take them home, so it's common to see in Switzerland men, young men, with their rifles in the
mm,
buses and subway. So every
mm-hmm.
but that's for the military, right? Because they
Right.
gotta serve, and they all have their guns, their equipment. They take them home with them. But
Mm-hmm.
like women owning it, since it's not mandatory, I don't know if women can own guns per se.
Mm-hmm.
Or like if I move to America, do I have to become a citizen to own a gun, or can I have a green card and own one, or how does it work?
I'm not exactly sure. Um, I want to say that like in order to go buy one, you might have. Honestly, I think it might depend on the state because like obviously, I don't know if you're aware of like how like every state has a lot of different laws like
Mm-hmm.
regarding a lot of different things. So like guns is one of those things that like it's not a general consensus
Mm-hmm.
around the states because like in California, for example, like it's a lot harder to own guns in California, like, and you have to go through more processing, and I think that they have, there's, like, stronger laws on, like, what like, carrying them and stuff, and I think you have to go through more processing and training, but if you go to, like, other states, for example, like, more, like, redneck states, like, completely, like, doesn't matter, like, you can get them wherever, once you're 18, you can get them, don't have to go through processing, you can just buy it, right?
Wow.
And so, like, it really depends on the state. But I'm not actually sure. I think that it might be that you have to be a citizen to buy them. Cause like, I don't know about the green card, but I think it's that you have to be a citizen,
Yeah, because
but I'm not 100% sure.
I know that Arnold is European. He's from Austria, right? He's
Mhm,
Austrian,
mhm,
and he has a bunch of guns. But okay,
mm,
he was in politics, and he married the daughter of a former president or whatever.
mhm,
So yeah, at this point he's a citizen now. But I was just curious
yeah.
to know, because I've seen like UFC fighters and people that are not American, like shooting at the range, but I don't know about
You
owning
can
the
definitely
guns.
shoot them. Yeah, like I know you can shoot them and you can like go to ranges and stuff, but I think it's like when you actually want to own it and buy it, I think it's a little different.
Yeah,
But you can definitely use them at like ranges and stuff if you're not a citizen.
just you just can't own them.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I met a couple of guys from Texas and Dallas. Yeah, heard stories about their guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those
Texas
guys,
is yeah, Texas, I bet they got a lot of guns there.
they love football, God, and guns. Yeah,
Yeah. Texas is like one of the more southern, like, redneck states.
really.
Mhm. Like
And
the Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys. Yeah,
Yes.
back when Tony Romo was there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's Texas. They're
That's
like a part of the southern whole area.
oh wow. But like, I don't know the data, and maybe you can help me with that. But would you say that the states that have more guns are the ones that have less shootouts?
Honestly, yes, I think so. And so, like, let's say California, for example, like, they have some of the strictest gun laws in the country,
Wow.
yet they have, I think, the most shootings in the country. And then you look at states like Illinois, for example, like Chicago. I'm pretty sure Illinois has some of the strictest gun laws in the country too. But Chicago is extremely like known for its gun violence, like lots of gun violence in Illinois, right? Like and they have strict gun laws there too. But then when you look at states with like less, like obviously there's exceptions to that, like Texas, they have less strict gun laws, but they tend to have more shootings. But Texas also has a higher population, so like it's gonna come with more shootings, right?
Hmm.
But if you look at states like Idaho and like stuff like that, or like, what other states are there? I don't know, but when you look at states like that have really like pretty chill populations and like really like not strict gun laws, like barely any laws on it, like those states barely any shootings. Like, so I guess it correlates with one, the population of that state, because the population has a lot of factors, right? Because bigger cities, more shootings. But also, yeah, I think there's a correlation between states with less gun laws having less gun deaths at least. Like,
Hmm. Interesting.
mm-hmm.
How is it in Canada? Like I know that they're socialists and
Yeah, I don't really know a lot about Canada.
but
I
they like the weed is like legalized, but there's no guns
mm-hmm.
and there's
Yeah, I
crazy
think so.
taxes.
Mm-hmm. I don't know a lot about Canada. They're kind of just there. Like
What
I
do
don't know
you
what they're doing
mean?
up there.
What do you mean? Have you ever traveled outside of the US?
I've been to France.
Ooh,
Mhm.
baguette, croissant, oui
Yeah.
oui.
Yeah.
You've been to Paris or just France, like
Yeah.
Nice,
I went to
Marseille?
Paris. I went like all around the country.
Really? Like in
Mhm.
a study, like kind of trip, or with
I went
your
with like
your
my
folks?
school, but
Really? Okay.
yeah, but it wasn't like a study trip though. Like we just went and we went to all the big places there and like, saw a bunch of cool historical things, but
Was this recent?
it was like a year ago, so pretty recent.
What's your thoughts on Paris? Was it what you expected to be? Was it different? Was it more
I think it
culturally
was a
diverse?
I
So
think it was a little bit different than I expected. Like, I didn't particularly like it that much, I think.
yeah, that's
It
a
was
common
very,
thing.
like, very, very busy, obviously. Like, there's tons of people there. But it was also, like, kind of dirty, to be honest. Like, kind of trashy. Not a lot of, like, there's a lot of tweakers there, like, people that I was, like, like,
You thought you
a
were
little
in
bit scared of.
Philadelphia? You thought like you were
Huh?
in, you thought you were in Kensington, or
Yeah. Like, I
you
was like,
just
"Oh." It was a little bit like, Paris is probably my least favorite part about France. Um, it was just kinda dirty, and, like, I was like, "I don't know, there's too many people there." But, that's like any big city, like, just like you go to LA, like, too many people, dirty, tweakers, like
damn. Like for instance, in Portugal now you see more of that because you have this crazy immigration problem, and you
mhm,
have the crazy cost of living. And
mhm,
so when people are in despair, they fall into these numbing substances,
right,
alcohol, narcotics,
mhm,
and all of that, right? So you can see more of that in Portugal now, in the capital, in Lisbon,
mhm,
and everywhere pretty much this is the same steps to that result.
right,
But I don't know, man. I don't know. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that because I was around when 2008 uh, crisis happened, and it
mhm,
wasn't like that. But now it's just crazy. It's just everywhere. It's just too much. I barely get out of home. I work from home, and
yeah.
I don't because I don't want to engage in fist fights with people. I go out to run my
Yeah,
5K, come back, and do my
I
things.
I definitely don't understand why a lot of the European governments have been, like, allowing all the huge culture shift that they've been having, like, in the fact that, like, they're allowing people to come there and, like, act, not proper and act, violently and stuff like that. Like, I've been hearing a lot about that, and I've just been, like, wondering why the European governments have been doing absolutely nothing about, like, the uprise in violence and, unlawful behavior that's been going on.
Hey, it's all under the banner of of inclusion, right?
Mhm.
But there's exactly they're trying to change the demographic of the country. They're trying to change the culture because these people are easier to manipulate, right? Because they
Mhm.
come from such extremes environments that they don't complain. They don't call in sick. They don't they don't have sick
Right.
leaves. They just grind. They were like,
Mhm.
that's it? That's what you're complaining about? Oh, we will do it gladly. Oh, you're
Right.
gonna pay us less? No worries.
Mhm.
No problem at all. So this is the big agenda I think that is in course now. The people that really run things, because you must understand that Portugal is under the UE, right?
Mhm.
European Union,
Mhm.
and this is the agenda that they have, man. Like the people that run European Union, they want this to happen. I don't know what's
Right.
the finality. I but I know that is not good because
Mhm.
the way of life is changing and you have all this tension, and I was having this conversation with someone, was pissed off, obviously, as he should be, but I was like, it's not the fault of the people that come here. It's not their fault.
Right.
There's a like a joke that why did the dog got into the church?
Mhm.
Because the door was open, right?
Yeah.
So they come here because the laws are soft, right?
Right.
Right? If the laws are
Mhm.
soft and the life is better here, I'm trying to run from
Right.
third world and this craziness. I want to be here. But they
Mhm.
bring their culture with them. I don't think that the problem is the religions per se, because people say, oh,
Mhm.
the Muslims. Bro, Dubai is beautiful,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Right? Everyone is,
Mhm.
and their mothers are living there. The ones with
Right.
money, they there. Oh, it's so
Mhm.
safe, it's so clean. Da, da, da. So the thing is, third country versus first country, right? That's the third world countries. Sorry, third world countries versus first world countries, because these people come from that place with no education or low education, low or no nothing, and they
Right.
come
Mhm.
into this place where they have this amazing structure, and you have civilized people and cordial, and then they'll be like, oh, so this is what's going on. Yeah,
Mhm.
this is it. I'm staying here, but they bring
Right. Yeah.
that mentality, right? And it's just
Mhm.
not good.
Mhm. I agree with you. Yeah. I definitely like. I don't think that the problem is immigration, but the problem is, people trying to change aspects about the culture that's already in the place that they're going to, like trying to change, for example, the Portuguese culture. Like the problem isn't immigration, it's, the shift of Portuguese culture, right? Like trying to change that.
Yeah, they wanna start like creating Sharia courts and
Mhm.
Sharia police, and people are like, what are you talking about, bro?
Right.
I know, but
Like,
the thing is, Portugal is a secular country, right?
uh-huh.
It's like a secular republic, pretty much
Right.
like the United States. The
Mhm.
religion is not intertwined with the government.
Right.
So now these people come here and they're practicing their faith and be like, yeah, it's okay. But then, like in 2, 3 generations, you'll be like, oh shoot, they are modernized. They are more than us because
Mhm.
they be pumping those babies out.
Right.
They be pumping those babies
Mhm.
out, and you can see in the U.S. In the UK. I'm sorry, the prime minister. Now you have it in New York, right, Mamdani?
Mhm. Oh yeah. Mhm.
Mamdani.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a cool dude.
I don't know much about him, but I've just heard a lot, like a lot of people talking about him.
You see, but that take us back to the women conversation again, because most people that voted for him were women. But they
Mhm.
voted for a dude that says, I'm gonna just open the gates of the prisons because crime is a social construct, and they be just he be saying the just the craziest things. And these
Right.
women voted for him. Majority of the voters were women.
Mm.
Bro, this is crazy. I was
Yeah.
like, what do you mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know like what he said. I haven't studied up on him at all, but I've just heard that he's kind of controversial.
He said that he's gonna raise the tax for the white families. That dude is just
Mm.
out of control. Yeah, he's just saying the great, most obnoxious things. I was like, bro, this dude is out of control.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This, he said that. He
I've
said,
heard I've Yeah, I've heard a lot of people on the left highly supporting him, so I'm like, I don't know, I gotta look into like what he's for, because that's never trustworthy.
this,
But
would you say you are more on the right wing or more in the left? You're more in the center, leaning right,
I think I think I'm a pretty center person, but I think that I tend to lean a little bit more right on some things.
like the
Um,
guns, right?
Yeah, I think that's like one of the big things that pushes me more right. But like other than that, I think I'm pretty central. Like I don't agree with a lot of like extremist views on either side because I think when you get too extreme, like it gets to be too extreme, right? Too
Agree,
much. And so like I
agree.
think that like middle lying is like where the logic lies at because it's like okay, you can see both sides of the story, but like there's a middle ground here like and I hate extremist ideas, but I definitely lean a little bit more right. But
Okay, what do you disagree the most about the left, the leftist ideology?
I think one of the biggest things that I don't like is how much they're recently pushing like socialist and you know communist values. Like I don't agree with that. I think that causes a lot of issues, and I don't think that that would ever work in a society like America. Like
Well,
socialism, I don't think would work for us. So it's like that, and the fact that they're pushing those ideas so hard, um, I really don't agree with that. Um, I also don't agree with like a lot of the like okay, like for me personally, like I myself you know, am a technically a part of the LGBTQ community, but like on the same at the same time I don't like align with a lot of the things that they do and I don't like align with the pushing and the of the, gay agenda, right? Like
hmm,
I don't understand why they feel the need to
teach
push
kids.
labels and push being all like your life being about the fact that you're gay. Like I don't see the reasoning behind that, right? Like and I don't agree with people trying to push, like have you heard about like children transitioning genders?
Yeah.
Like, I don't I that's one of the things I really don't agree with, and I think that that's the fact that they're even, like, trying to push that is absurd to me because, like, just how as, like, children aren't allowed to get plastic surgery, so in what world is it okay for children to be able to medically transition? Like, I've never understood that, and I also just don't agree, again, like I said, with the whole, like, pushing out to the world the fact that you're gay. It's like, yeah, okay, you're gay, right? Like, we have our rights, we're allowed to do that, but why does that need to be, like, our main personality trait and why does that need to be pushed out into other people's faces? Like it really doesn't. Like you can exist as yourself without everyone else needing to know about it. You know what I mean?
So you are part of the community, but you don't agree with most of what they say. So
Hmm.
why are you part of that community then if you don't agree with them?
See, I wouldn't consider myself even a part of the community, but I'm bisexual. Like I like women and men. I just happen to like women, but I wouldn't really consider myself a part of the community. Like,
You like women and men, but
hmm
if you had to say which one do you like the most, like if like you had to choose one for the rest of your life, right? That's it.
hmm
Which one would it be?
probably men.
So why don't you stick with men?
I normally do. I mean, I kind of dabble in women a little bit, which I don't see the issue in, right? It's like you can
Hey,
you can you
free
can,
world.
sleep with who you want or, get with who you want, but at the end of the day, like I don't see why that needs to be people's main identity
Hmm.
or like main personality trait. It doesn't matter. It's just like it is what it is. Like,
This is very interesting actually because I had a debate recently and
Mhm.
he was a homosexual fella, and he was saying that he was born this way,
Mhm.
and I had to refute that with a study that was conducted by Johns
Mm.
Hopkins University
Mhm.
that concluded that there is no gay gene.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not.
And he was a little bit pissed off about that, but the facts are the
Mhm.
facts, right? So
Mhm.
it is very interesting to me. And
It's definitely, I do think it's interesting, and I think it's interesting that we still don't know like what causes that or why people end up liking the same gender as them. I don't know. I just know that me personally, like I just happen to be attracted to women as well. But like I just like I don't know.
but
It's not something that needs to be like as big as it is. You know what I mean?
I
Like
totally agree with you. But the
I
thing
don't
is,
even understand why we made the LGBT community, right? Like it's like, do we need that? Like, can't you just like who you like and be done with it? Like,
someone is funding that, and agendas are being pushed because it
mm-hmm,
serves a purpose. But
mm-hmm,
I don't. This is why I don't. I just don't jump in bandwagons like
right,
the BLMs and Black Lives. I don't.
mm-hmm,
I don't do that, man. Because look,
right,
those overweight black
mm-hmm,
lesbians are now using all the money to buy mansions and just living the fast life, right?
mm-hmm,
Living like rock stars with the
mm-hmm,
money that everybody donated, buying
mm-hmm,
$10 million mansions and stuff. What do you mean?
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
This is crazy to me.
I feel like that about a lot of organizations, and like I think that the left, that's one of the things I don't like about the left as well, is that they tend to have a lot of organizations like that, right?
Mm,
And with those organizations, a huge aspect of them is literally just money pondering for the people who are in charge of them, and they're trying to get people to talk about it, they're trying to get people upset about it. Like all they want is media attention so that they get more money, and it's like you can clearly see that there's no reason to have any of those. Like, are they really doing anything? No, they're just making people talk about it so that people give more money to them. Like,
exactly. Exactly. But going back to the bisexual thing, this is very interesting because like when did you like one day you just woke up and you were like, yeah, I like boys, they are interesting,
mm-hmm,
but hmm, I don't dislike that either.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't particularly know. Like, I know a lot of people say I was born this way. Like, I didn't. I don't know like how I feel about that because it's like as long as I can remember, like yes, I've been attracted to both, but it's like I don't know. I think that's just how my brain happens to work. I guess my brain just happens to, find attraction to both. And I guess I think I work in the way that like I find value in who the person is like mentally and like their personality and like how they act and stuff, like and how their brain thinks and works. I find the most value in that when I'm looking at who I'm attracted to. So, that's just how I find attraction is through that. But I don't know. I mean, I'm open to like a lot of, other interpretations of what people think, causes being gay, but
Like for instance, those researchers from Johns Hopkins University, they inferred that most of that behavior was conditioned by, how can I say, events
mhm.
earlier in the life of individuals that turn out as an adult or as a teenager to assume the characteristics or the ideology
Mhm.
or the behaviors of homosexuality per se.
I definitely can see that. I mean, that definitely makes sense. At least for me, that would make sense. But I don't know. I've heard other people say no, that's not why I'm gay, like, because I've talked about that aspect to other people because I've been like, is that what causes that? Out of curiosity, like to sexual trauma often, as a child, have anything to do with people turning out, to like that gender, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've asked people that I've known that are also, have homosexual tendencies. So I've been like, is that has that been a factor for you? And I've heard a lot of responses of people being like, no, like, or saying that nothing's happened to them. So then I'm outside of that, I'm wondering like, okay, what are the other causes? Because like we do know that homosexuality is practiced in other species as well. And so it's like humans aren't the only ones that practice homosexuality. And so at that point, it's like, what is the biological purpose of it? I mean, is it companionship? Is it because we're looking for like, I don't know.
Yeah, but we are the only ones that try to normalize it, right? To try to make it the norm. But it is actually, when you look at it, it is like, if we all, not even all, let's just say
Hmm.
the majority of people adopted that lifestyle, right? It's a lifestyle.
Hmm.
You adopted the lifestyle, we would be extinct as a species.
Yes, we would.
That
Um,
that's against all of our instincts. We are
hmm.
here to procreate.
Yes,
every
I agree
every
with you.
every word I'm- every being, right?
Hmm.
Every living being wants to reproduce and to continue the species.
Right. Hmm.
Makes no sense.
I definitely see that aspect. But then, I mean, at the same time, like bringing that aspect into play, like you have to bring into play what about the people who are infertile and what about the people who don't want to have kids? They're straight, but they don't want to have kids or, they can't have kids. So, like, there's those aspects of it too, because it's like there's a lot of factors as to why people wouldn't have kids, like, besides being gay. But I mean, overall, I don't think that like the amount of gay people that we have is really too badly affecting our reproduction rates at this moment. Obviously, if everyone were to be gay, like, or if most people were to be gay, like, that would be a huge issue. But like the amount of people that there are, because it's like most people are still straight and most people still practice straight relationships, right? But like, and so like the little amount of people that are actually like fully gay, like, and aren't, reproducing is so minute that it's not causing an issue. And it's like if they want to live their lives like that, then that's completely fine because that's who they're attracted to. And it's like I understand it from my own point of view because I understand being attracted to the same gender and like I understand why they're attracted to the same gender. But obviously I'm attracted to men too. But I get it to an extent.
Yeah, the thing is that, okay, you can the thing of it's a small number of people that practice
Mhm.
homosexuality openly.
Mhm.
The main thing is that they're trying to normalize it, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
You see,
Mhm.
that's where the problem begins because it's
I
not
definitely agree with
normal.
you. Like I don't think it should be considered like the norm, right? I mean, the norm is obviously heterosexual couples, but like I also don't think it should be considered like out of the norm, like what I mean? Like it shouldn't be, excluded and, considered bad or anything. But I just think that people should just live how they want to live. Like it shouldn't be we need to make it add attention to this, but it also shouldn't be we need to exclude them from, our society. Like it should just be if they're gay, they're gay. Like if they want to live like that, that's 100% fine. But like everyone just lives how they want to. It's their own business, right? Like it doesn't need to be popular like um media sized or like brought into huge popularity, but it also doesn't need to be like exercised from society.
Yeah, but it's like I said, it's a lifestyle that homosexuality started in documented history back in Greece, right? Ancient
Hmm.
Greece. So it's not new.
No, it's not.
It's not new. So why are we
Hmm.
now making this push to make it mainstream and to we have
Yeah,
one month of people just with flags and
yeah, I agree
dildos
with you.
waving dildos on the
Yeah.
street? This is just insane to me.
Yeah, I don't think that it should be like I don't know why we're acting like it's some new
I
thing
have a
because like you said
theory.
it's not.
I have a theory. This is conditioning and desensitizing the kids to the unnatural, to the abnormal. Because
Hmm.
when you grew up, because I know people that grew up going to the gay parade and stuff like that, and now as
Hmm.
adults, females, they're like, yeah, it's normal. And I'll be like, no, it is not normal, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It is not normal. Because what this does is desensitize you. That's
Yeah.
why in like, not even because people like to talk about Muslim countries. Oh, Muslim countries, no rights, and you can be gay and they kill you and da da da. You're telling me there's no gay people in like Muslim countries? That's why you're telling me?
No, there
Yes, that,
definitely
that,
is.
that, they're there.
Yeah.
Like we can talk about Russia, Christian Orthodox.
Mm-hmm.
There's gay people there,
There definitely is.
right? But what they don't want is that mentality being spread to the youngest generation as something
Mm-hmm.
normal, something that you should, like, yeah, you should do it. It's fine. Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
no. If they are, if if they haven't been touched, they haven't been molested, nothing happened to them, and they grew up, and one day they look like, I'm a man, but I like that man's beard. I think I want to kiss him.
Mm-hmm.
That's on them. But
Mm-hmm.
not because they've seen as a kid that men kissing men, waving dildos, and
Mm-hmm.
chesty chest hair everywhere, and just being super extra. This is normal. And once a year for the entire month, we do that, and everybody has to
Mm-hmm.
wear a armband or the colors, because why?
See, like, I don't like I think that it's normal. Like, I think being gay is normal. Like, I think that it's okay and it's normal to be like that. And it's in its way. But I do think that I wonder like obviously we've seen an increase in gay people over the past few years. And I do wonder like what part of that correlation is the fact that more people are okay. Like I wonder if there's always been this amount of gay people and people are just now okay with being open about it because it's more accepted, or if people are being conditioned to feel gay because it's more accepted. Like I don't know which way it is. And we don't know which way it is, but I mean, I think it's normal. I think it's okay, but I do think it becomes a problem when we act like it's something that needs to be like out in the world and super celebrated or anything. It's just like live your life. That's the extent of it.
Yeah, but how do you correlate the fact that it's just a small minority of people doing it and being normal?
I don't know. I mean, I think small amounts of people do a lot of things and that are normal. Like I don't know.
Mm, elaborate.
Like I don't know. There's you could take style for example. Like okay, like I dress more alternatively. I
Okay.
dress in a little bit of a different style. Like would you, and obviously not most people don't dress like this, right? But would you take it out of that context and say that it's not normal for me to dress like this? Like
Yeah, I would say so.
okay.
Because the
So
norm is
like
what
you're
the majority of people do,
I
right?
guess I
That's the
agree with
norm.
that. Like if we're considering the norm to be like what the majority does, then
Uh,
yeah, being gay is not normal, right? Because it's not the what the majority does. But I don't think like it's like what I mean is like I don't think it's wrong. Like I don't think it's like I don't think there's anything bad about being gay, you know?
well, I would disagree again,
Really.
because yeah, because the amount of and I'm talking on a perspective of a male, right? Of a man.
Mhm.
The the damage that copulate with a man by the rear end is a terrible thing. It is a terrible thing. Like the numbers are here, the studies are here. It just destroys the sphincter and everything else back there. So yeah, man, I feel sorry for like the people that were abused when kids and they turn out this way, but it's definitely not normal or natural. Because so we can tolerate, right? We can tolerate,
Mhm.
and you live how you feel, great. But since your way of living, your lifestyle is not natural, you cannot have kids, because naturally
Right.
you can't have kids.
Mhm.
I would I would put like I would create that rule, and I would see how things would go, because
Would you?
there's a lot of gay men or bisexual or whatever that were married and had kids, but then they live that lifestyle on the side or on those
Mhm.
trips, on stuff like that. But
Right.
because this is the norm, this is what we must do to perpetuate the species.
Mhm. I mean, I get the points of that, but it's at the same time, do you think that people should throw away what they truly want or their desire, like their desires, because it's like unnatural?
Yeah, we ought to do what is right, not what we feel like.
I get that to an extent, but I also think that like if someone doesn't like, if a man doesn't like women and he's just miserable being with women, then like I think there's that he doesn't have any obligation to be with women.
Of course.
Like,
No, of course. Like, and that thing
mhm.
exists since time immemorial, right?
Mhm.
Men live with the other men, and they were just like the bodies that live together. Like, I know
Mhm.
old guys that live like that since ever. Everyone knew what
Mhm.
they are,
Mhm.
but they're not just like, yes, yes, we are gay and we are proud and puffing their
Mhm.
chest and, oh, look at my flag.
Mhm.
No, they
Yeah. I
just,
mean, I don't know. I just see it as like be whatever you want. Like my full stance is just like people can practice what they want. They can fuck who they want. They can do what they want.
as consenting adults.
Just yes, yes, as consenting adults, yes. um, do what they want, but like it just doesn't need to be all over the place. Like
I agree with you
pretty much. Mhm.
wholeheartedly. I agree with you.
Mhm.
I agree with you. So do what you do in the privacy of your home with
Mhm.
consenting adults. Just
Mhm.
don't be out here trying to normalize it and desensitize people, because
Mhm.
this is my theory. Like, the thing is, things are like that. We see that increasing in the numbers because people are desensitized,
Mhm.
right? Oh, we
Yeah.
must march because we have to get married, and then we have one day a year to celebrate our way of living, our lifestyle, and then is 10 days, and then is a week, and then is a month, and then
Mhm.
come on, man.
I just think that we should be living our own lives and worrying about what we're doing ourselves. And it's like I don't see like chasing everyone's approval about being gay. Like that's not going to solve anything. And so it's just like if you're gay, you know, be with who you want, live your life, worry about your own self. Like
I agree.
mhm.
I agree. As long as you don't hurt no one and
Mhm.
you're not trying to normalize and desensitize people and the kids and having drag queens history
Mhm.
time reading to kids, bro. Do what you do,
Mhm.
man. Do what you do. Since you don't want to do what's right, do what you do. Just don't try to drag
Mhm.
people into this mess and try to make it look normal.
Yeah,
And
I agree. I think that a lot of people just kind of need to worry about their own lives more and like worry about what they're doing and live how they want as long as you're not harming anyone else. But it's like whatever you want doesn't need to be pushed on everyone else. Like I don't know.
I totally agree. Totally agree. And
Mhm.
this is crazy because I was thinking on living in Russia because it's just different values, man. The thing is, here, you can have guns, you pay a lot of taxes, you have no security, you have nothing, you have nothing, right?
Mhm.
I didn't sign any contract that said when I was born that I said yes, I will pay this amount of taxes, and in
Mhm.
return, I expect like healthcare and
Right.
protection from police and like education, these minimum things, minimum services, right?
Mhm.
I didn't sign none of that, but here I am paying all this money and getting none of the of the rewards or the benefits of it. So this is
Mhm.
insane.
Yeah.
This is insane to me. And
Mhm.
yeah, I was this friend of mine. He was thinking on moving to the U.S. because
Yeah.
he loves it so much. Yeah,
Mhm.
you would love to talk to him. He loves America. He loves
Really.
yeah. He
That's
loves
funny.
America. Yeah. He put me on to the Trump bandwagon. because I was
Oh.
one of those skeptics that were like, no, I don't. But yeah, he did great things. I just have a couple issues with the Middle East and
Mhm.
the ways conducting warfare
Mhm.
in the name of their ally
Right.
in Israel. And it's just,
Mhm.
bro, you are really willing to put American lives, American soldiers at jeopardy because of this ally?
Right.
It's just, I don't know. I don't get it. But
Mhm.
yeah, he's doing great things. He met with Ronaldo. See, our next president, perhaps. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot. Like, there's a lot to unpack there. I don't know that much about the whole Trump thing either, like as of now, but because I know there's been a lot more that's happened, but I really haven't been studying up on politics recently. But
Yeah, politics is just a dirty game. He
mhm.
used to be friends with the Brazilian president, Jair Bolsonaro, which he was like making tweets preaching his love to Trump, I love you, and stuff like that. And now he's in trouble. He's in deep trouble in Brazil.
Mm.
Yeah, his mandate is
Yeah.
over, and he's thrown in prison, and he's crying, hoping that Trump's get there to save him. And now Trump is all buddy with the communists they have in power in Brazil.
Mhm.
He was like,
Yeah.
"Bro, this is just business, man. I'm sorry. Hang in there,
Yeah.
brother." Like, bro,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in deep trouble. But politics
Mhm.
is a dirty game. It's just
It
like,
is.
yeah, we
Mhm.
are both from on the right, but this dude on the left is gonna benefit America. So yeah,
Mhm.
deuces.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What's your opinion on Trump?
I don't really know.
Oh,
I don't
you
think
can't
I
vote,
know.
right? You can't vote yet.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would you
I
vote
don't
for
really know.
him?
I don't. Huh?
Would you vote for him?
I'm not sure right about now because I
No,
don't
no. In
like
the in those last elections.
I really don't think that I've studied enough to come like if I were going to go vote, like I would need to like really look up on both of the main people running and make an executive decision there like after having done deep research and I really didn't do enough research like and I still don't know enough about Trump to say like whether I would or would not vote for him
That's
because
fair.
I haven't like you know done enough of my own research into what he's done into if all these allegations against him are true or not. I don't know. So,
We're talking about the Epstein, the files.
yeah, like that, for example, I haven't researched it at all.
No,
So,
you can research a guy that is called David Icke. He's a old timer, old head, British journalist. And there's another channel that I forgot the name, The Voice of the People. The Voice of the People, I'm pretty sure is that's it. He's a British dude as well. And they've been talking about all these conspiracy theories and they shown a couple of survivors that they allegedly said that Trump never did anything
hmm,
wrong. But they spoke about Bill and
mm,
Hillary and,
yeah,
and Obama. And
yeah.
yeah,
I definitely have to look into that because I would like to know more. I'm so busy with school that I don't get a lot of the time to look into like a lot of political stuff nowadays. But
yeah, you take care of those grades. Anyway, I'm
yeah,
not gonna take any more of your time. It was a lovely conversation.
thank you.
Truly enjoyed it, and you are a
I
very
enjoyed it too.
wise young lady for your age. And
Thank you.
I know that you're gonna do great things in life. Maybe one day when you get to America, we can shoot guns together.
Maybe.
Maybe. Have a good one. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.